Devin Jatho is a 19-year-old entrepreneur who's probably making way more money than you and me with video intros like this on Instagram.
Know whenever your favorite creators say, comment the word racket and I'll send you a free download?
Devin is paying to have his videos created, but let's recreate that intro in CapCut, which is free. All of the elements you need to follow along are linked in the description below, so stop right now and download them. I'll wait right here. One of the reasons Devin's income and videos do so well is because his hooks are fire. They are very fast-paced, and they speak directly to his target audience. Let's jump into CapCut and see if we can duplicate it. First, let's take this clip of me and drop it into the timeline. And here you can see, just looking at the waveforms, that I've made 2 attempts to duplicate his intro. I can see that this one is a mistake already because it's short, so I'm just going to trim this up right here by typing the letter Q on my keyboard, which will delete everything from the playhead to here and slide everything over because I have the track magnet on. In Devin's video, he had influencers appear behind him right here. In order to duplicate that, we're going to duplicate this layer of me. So I'm going to hold down the Option key on a Mac and the Alt key on a PC, click and drag this up, and bam, this is duplicated. Why? Because I want to cut me out and then keep the background and have these guys appear in between me here. So to cut me out, I'm going to make sure that this top layer is highlighted. Click on Video, Cutout. And I'm going to select Auto Cutout. Notice that only human figures can be cut out so far. So I click Auto Cutout, does it pretty instantly. It doesn't look like anything has happened, but if I turn off this bottom layer, you can see that, oh, the background's all gone. So it worked kind of perfectly. Next, we're just going to drop in all these influencers. We've got Alex Hormozi right here. We've got Iman Ghadzi, and we also have Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast. And they didn't drop in all exactly perfect, so I'm just going to adjust them a little bit. Now, within CapCut, you can adjust the timeline a little bit to make more room by just clicking and dragging up. So I'm going to click and drag up so I can see all these guys for now. And I'm going to drag Iman down here. And then I'm going to just trim them all up so they all end at the same time. I'm going to highlight all of them, hit Command B on a Mac, Control B on a PC, and delete them. And then I'm going to have them all appear. Now I'm going to work on one of these guys at a time. In order to see these guys, I'm going to hide this top layer of me just by highlighting it and typing the letter V on my keyboard. Now I can see all these guys. And you might notice that they're a little bit brighter than they appeared in Devin's video. They're standing out too much. They shouldn't pop more than me. If I hide all of them, you can see that I look about like that. And these guys look a little brighter. So to fix all that, I'm going to click on them one at a time like that. And go over to adjustment, and then I'm just going to scroll down to saturation, take the saturation down a bit. There's still a little bit of color, they're not black and white. And then I'm just going to take the highlights and bring them down a little bit. And I'll do that for all of them so they don't pop as much as they were originally. And now they look closer to what Devin had in his videos. Now we want to have these guys pop into the screen. So we're already on Alex Hormozi. So let's have him start, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds in or so. And we're going to start him a little smaller and a little lower and have him off screen right here. And I'm going to set a keyframe by going to Video, Basic, and we're only going to move his position. We're not going to change his scale or his rotation. So I'm just going to click on Position right here and move forward to, I don't know, about 1 second in or so, and just have him appear right there. And that will probably work pretty well. And we can check it by clicking anywhere in the timeline to get rid of that white box. It's a little distracting. And then I'm going to turn me on, this top layer of me on, by typing the letter what? When it's highlighted, I just type the letter V, bam, now he's behind me. And we can actually get a better feel at, maybe we're hiding his eyeball too much. So let's move him back a little bit. Now I want to make sure that I'm on the keyframe where I'm moving him so that it doesn't move twice. And I can see the keyframes right here. So I'm just going to drag my playhead back to the keyframe here and maybe move him here. I want him to land maybe right about there. Before we check to see if that really worked, I want to turn off the audio for this guy completely. I'm not going to need it at all for this top layer. We don't need the audio twice. So I'm going to just turn off the audio here. And then I am going to go down to this guy and turn the audio off because I don't want to hear it right now. We just want to look at the visuals and let's see how it looks. That's fine. And next we want to have Iman Ghadzi appear behind Alex Hormozi, and we'll have Iman start maybe a little bit sooner, like right at the beginning. So I'm going to click on Iman, type the letter V so he shows up, and let's position him about where we want him to end up. So maybe right there. Let's see where Alex is. But we want Iman behind Alex. So I'm going to click and drag him down here because he didn't end up in the correct layer. And now we see that Iman's there and Alex is there, and we want Iman to end up a little higher than him, and we want him to appear first. So let's go back to the beginning of the timeline, click on Iman, and set a keyframe for position. And let's go forward to, I don't know, about 15 frames, maybe around here or so. Set another keyframe for position, go back to the beginning, and just have Iman appear off screen or disappear from the screen. And then we can check this now. Those guys show up, looks pretty good. Now we just need Mr. Beast to show up. To do that, we're going to click on Mr. Beast, type the letter V, so Jimmy shows up, and position him about where we want him to end up. Now Jimmy's facing kind of the wrong direction and his head's a little big. We want him to be kind of facing in, so I'm going to scale him down a tiny bit. And to flip him, to make him go the other direction, I'm going to just type this guy right here, this mirror thing, and now Jimmy's facing the right way. Let's position him about where we want him to show up, right about there maybe. And we'll have Jimmy end, I don't know, about the same time that Alex ends, somewhere around here. And I'm going to set a keyframe for position only for Jimmy and start him, I don't know, 10 or 12 frames in around here. And so I'll just drag him back. And to preview this, I'm just going to drag this down so this window's a little bigger. You can see what's going on. And I'm going to go to the beginning, make sure none of these guys are highlighted, and hit play. And yeah, I think that looks pretty great. If you think it looks great, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, because that is literally my only source of self-esteem. Next, we want to make captions that are similar to Devin's. They don't have to be identical. They just need to be engaging and fun and make people want to look at them. So to do that, we're just going to jump over here under text and type auto captions, choose our language. I don't know why it thinks I speak Arabic. Wanti dip kalam Arabi. And I'm just going to change it to English because my English is considerably better than my Arabi. And I'm going to just hit create and let it think about it. But this is a good thing. Turn on volume so it can do it. It can't do it unless it's got the volume on. So I'm going to turn the volume on for this guy right here, just the bottom layer, and we'll do it again, hit create. And after just a couple seconds, it'll create captions for this little 5-second video. And bam, there they are. And we're going to check it to make sure they're accurate.
You know, whenever your favorite creators say, comment the word racket and I'll send you a free download?
So it's close, but not exactly right. Plus we want to break these up a little more. So to break these captions up so you don't have, these long sentences down here, to fix these, to make sure that the spelling and the pacing is what we want it to be, we can just jump in here, hit an enter key there so that will be by itself. And then that's supposed to be whenever, not whatever. And then that's supposed to be by itself, your favorite creators, and then say is a separate word, and then comment the word racket, and I'll send you a free download. Those work pretty well. And now we notice that these are all very, very small. So I'm just gonna click on any of them, jump over to text, make sure apply to all is selected, and I wanna make them bigger. I'll click on basic, and I'm gonna choose a better font. How about Roboto Black? That's closer to what he has. I'm gonna scale them up by clicking this guy right here. I think I want them to be maybe all caps. So to make them all caps, I just click on this case thing right here, uppercase. And let's have a look, scroll through it now. Whenever your favorite creators say, comment the word racket, and I'll send you a free download. This looks not bad at all, but there's no action happening with them and they're too low. So I'm also going to just drag this guy up about where I want this to appear, like right in the middle, so it's right under my face. So people, when they look at captions, they want to look at your face and they want to be able to read it. And if you put it close together, that's going to kind of help quite a bit. So next I want to animate these two guys in, and then I want to have some colored words for these guys. So let's do the colored word thing first. I'm going to click on this guy, select templates, and we have all of these possible templates, and a lot of them have colored words in them. There are some free ones and some pro ones, but we'll just click this first pro guy right here and see if that works. And yeah, I kind of think I like that, except the highlighted words are green and the background's purple. So to fix that, we just click on basic and we scroll down to color right here, and we choose a color that's closer to this background. So I'm gonna go over here to purple, somewhere around there. That looks pretty good, I think that. And now look at that. All of this is done like automatically. So let's see what this looks like as it is.
You know, whenever your favorite creators say, comment the word racket and I'll send you a free download?
That's pretty close, except I don't want the colored thing to be happening. I want these opening ones to be a little bit different. So I'm going to click on this first guy. I'm going to uncheck apply to all, and I can go over to templates. I'm going to take that template off. To get rid of that template for this guy, I just click on this little null thing here, and bam, the template's gone. And I want something different to happen for that one. So let's jump back over to basic. I don't want that system font reverted, so I'm gonna go back to Roboto. I'm gonna make it a little bigger again, and I want this guy just to animate on differently. And you got a ton of options in CapCut. Just go ahead and click on animation, and then we just choose one of these guys. Doesn't matter much. We'll just start with golden dust because it's fun. That's kind of fun. And then whenever, I'm gonna go back to basic, make sure that apply to all is not checked. So whenever we want that to be not the template, to make it not the template, you go into templates and you click on this same icon, and the same thing for your favorite creators. We don't want all of that happening there. We're just gonna do the same thing again. And then for say the same thing, we're gonna click this guy here. So now we can modify these guys independently. Looks cool. Let's say whenever, let's try a different animation for that. We'll just say, hey, how about glow? That's kind of cool, your favorite creators. And let's do a different animation for this last one just for fun. Let's try sound wave for this, your favorite creators. That's kind of cool. And let's just make say plain. So let's go back to basic, and I'm gonna make it a little bigger and make it that Roboto black, clean, just so it's readable because it's on for such a short period of time. You don't want it to be too crazy. People won't be able to see it. So let's have a look at this now.
Whenever your favorite creators say,
and say came on a little late, so I'm just gonna adjust this a little bit so say starts a little bit earlier, and that's all you do. You just move that stuff around like that.
Whenever your favorite creators say, comment the word racket and I'll send you a free download.
That, I think, works great for that. Now, what about that waveform? How do we get a fancy waveform? Well, we jump up here into stickers and we just type waveform. And we just want one that's animated. So like this guy doesn't appear to be animated. That guy's animated. How about this guy? And look at the colors kind of match. So I'm just going to hit this plus sign right here, and it showed up over there, but I don't want it there. I want it.
Whatever your favorite creators say.
We're gonna start the waveform when I say. And we're gonna put this just above here and let it cover my face. That's cool. Maybe make it a tiny bit smaller so you can see my eyes at least. And then we'll have it end about there. And while we're here, we're just gonna have all this other stuff end. So I'm gonna select all, type letter, type Command B, and make sure these guys are highlighted and nothing else, and delete them, and delete this guy. And now we've got this waveform cranking the entire time. So that's pretty cool. Now there's a little bit left to do. You may have noticed that in the beginning, he was zooming in, then he zoomed back out, and it changed to black and white. How do we do that? So let's just go ahead and lift this guy up so we have a little more access to these guys. Highlight all of them, right click, choose, create compound clip. And now we're gonna drag this back down so we can see this a little bit bigger. And we're gonna have him just kind of zoom in a little bit here and then zoom back down right when he says say. So to do that, I click on compound clip. I set a keyframe for scale and position in case I need position. And then over the course of about a second, I want all of these guys to get bigger at the same time. So I'm just going to drag this up to, I don't know, maybe 110, 112%, 115, that works, right? So it zooms in and then comment the word racket after say. So at this point, I want it to go back down to 100%. So starting here, I will set a keyframe for scale and position, just in case I moved position. And I go forward maybe 6 frames. And then I can just take this back down to 100. I could drag the slider, or just be more precise, I just type 100 here, bam. And at the same time, you may have noticed that it went to black and white right when that happened, and it stayed black and white for the rest of this spot. So to change this all to black and white, there's a couple ways to do this. We could desaturate it here over in adjustment, or we could just choose a black and white filter. So I'm gonna jump over to filters and go over here to mono. Then we have all these options for black and white filters. Let's try this black and white 3. And I'm gonna start that guy right at the time that I'm starting to scale myself back down, right around here. So I'm gonna drag it all the way to here, make sure it ends right there. And luckily with this filter, I can keyframe it over time. And one thing you may have noticed is like, oh, it took all the color out of this stuff. I wanna keep the color in the words. To do that, I just drag it underneath the words, and now it'll only affect what's beneath it. I'm gonna go to the beginning. I'm going to set a keyframe for the strength of this black and white filter. It's going to start at 0. So I'm gonna drag this guy to 0 so it's not affecting it at all. Go forward about 6 frames, and then I'm gonna drive it all the way up to 100, and then bam, that's all black and white. I think this is looking pretty good so far. I've got a quick question for you. Are you getting the views and subscribers you want on your channel right now? If not, I can help you. There's 2 things I guarantee you're doing wrong. Number 1, your editing is just kind of and number 2, you aren't taking the 10 steps you need to take with every single video to guarantee you get more views. In my course, Edit with Trev and Master CapCut, I teach you to edit in like 2 days using CapCut, so you'll be able to edit like a beast. You'll be fast, you know exactly what to do, and you'll be able to figure out stuff like this on your own. Number 2, I teach you the 10 steps you need to take with every single video to guarantee you get more views than you're getting right now. I promise you that with better editing and following the 10 steps you need to take with every single video, you will get more views. I'm so sure of it that I guarantee it. If you don't like it for any reason, you get all your money back. So click on this link right here or go to the link in the description below, Edit with Trev and Master CapCut. I look forward to seeing you there. And now let's get back to this. Next, you may have noticed that as soon as Devin said the word say, he said what he was gonna say, and that kind of changed into like an old telephone-y kind of sound effect. Can you do that in CapCut? Yeah, man. So let's go ahead and extract the audio from this. We can mess with the audio, right click and choose extract audio. It's also great so you can see the waveforms way better. Let's listen for what we need to cut it.
Favorite creator say,
So after say, we're going to just click here, add a cut by typing Command B on a Mac, Control B on a PC, and we want this to be modified slightly. So I click on this guy, I jump up to voice changer, and I have a bunch of options to change the voice. We've got the free one, which is vinyl, and it sounds a little bit
Comment
different.
the word racket and I'll send you a free download.
That sounds considerably different, right? Compared to the beginning.
favorite creator say,
Comment the word racket and I'll send you a free download.
We're almost done, but Devin also has a little music and sound effects. He's got kind of a whoosh in the beginning. The whooshes included in CapCut aren't great, so we're just going to go into media and we're going to import the 100 free sound effects that I gave you a few videos ago. If you don't have those 100 free sound effects, actually a little more, there's a link for those down below. All you gotta do is click on the link and I'm just gonna import them in my project. Clicking import, and I'm gonna go to music, and I've got my sound effects right here and 100 free sound effects, same ones that you guys have access to. And I'm gonna click here and scroll down to one that says whooshes. Here's that guy. I'm gonna put it in the beginning under this stuff, and I don't want there to be any delay. I want it to start with that. So I'm gonna just clip it a little bit and drag this guy over so it fades up a tiny bit. And I'm gonna drag it this way a little bit, just kind of so it sounds sort of like Devin's does. And here's what it sounds like.
you know whenever your favorite
Yeah, that kind of works. We've got the whoosh coming in, and now all we need is a bit of music, and there's some CapCut music that's similar enough to what Devin has. Just gonna jump into audio and type in Cute Bright, and we get Cute Bright Hip Hop. I'm gonna drag that guy down here, and I'm gonna get rid of everything after that. You know how to do that already. Command B, bam, bam, and we're gonna listen to it.
you know whenever your favorite creator say,
And it's a little loud, so I'm just going to click on this little line here and drag it down a little tiny bit. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the finished masterpiece!
you know whenever your favorite creator say,
Comment the word racket and I'll send you a free download.